What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, Canelo Álvarez is at fault and stating it's not my fault. Errol Spence lost to Terrence Crawford and messed up the plans. The Premier Boxing Champions signed Canelo Álvarez to a 3-fight deal that was going to see Canelo Álvarez at some point in time, more than likely this fight, his upcoming fight, Cinco de Mayo weekend, be against Errol the True Spence Jr. Canelo Álvarez's first fight was going to be, and his choice of opponent, but that fight was going to be Jermall Charlo, right? Jermall Charlo's an undefeated 2-division champion and the reigning WBC middleweight world champion. So Jermall Charlo was supposed to be the first fight for Canelo Álvarez, right? As Errol Spence was still looking to accomplish beating Terrence Crawford and becoming undisputed at welterweight. Then the offer was to fight Errol Spence for $55 million at a catchweight of 164. Right? A massive deal for Canelo Álvarez. And initially Canelo said no to these deals. But this was the plan. Those plans got destroyed by a plethora of events that took place. Canelo Álvarez never signed with the intent with the PBC to ever fight David Benavidez, and they have admitted that. The 3-fight deal that they did for Canelo Álvarez, they structured for Canelo Álvarez, never included David Benavidez in the 3-fight deal. So, after these chain of events took place, Canelo Álvarez was then tried to be forced to fight David Benavidez after a chain of events took place, and now the budget is not there to waste money. Initially, they was okay. The Premier Boxing Champion founder advisor Al Heyman and the PBC with allowing Canelo Álvarez to fight choice of opponent, his choice of opponent, and be paid a minimum of $35 million guaranteed. But this chain of events, unseen, unforeseen chain of events that took place, interrupted that. It disrupted that. And now Canelo Álvarez is the scapegoat. Canelo Álvarez shown us since 2019 when David Benavidez was stripped of his WBC title due to the fact that Canelo Álvarez missed weight on the scale. Okay? He missed weight on scale. He was stripped of his, David Benavidez missed weight on the scale, was stripped during a global pandemic, stripped of his WBC title. Canelo Álvarez immediately petitioned to fight Avni Yildirim for the vacant WBC title. No intentions of fighting David Benavidez, who was the undefeated 2-time WBC super middleweight world champion. So Canelo Álvarez was turned down by Oscar De La Hoya, Golden Boy Promotions, and DAZN. Oscar De La Hoya stood his ground and said, listen, we are not going to overpay you millions upon millions of dollars to fight Avni Yildirim and not recoup the money and lose money. That's not going to happen. Canelo Álvarez then bought his way out of his contract, got his way out of the contract, went to court with Oscar De La Hoya and Golden Boy Promotions, got out the contract, right? And did a deal with DAZN independently. DAZN then said, okay, with Matchroom CEO and promoter Eddie Hearn as his representation. Okay? And so they said, the zone said, we still not going to pay you a massive amount of money to fight Avni Yildirim for David Benavidez's vacant WBC title. Right? Okay. So he fought, then petitioned the WBC to allow the vacant belt to be on the line to fight Eddie Hearn's fighter in the undefeated WBA super middleweight world champion British superstar boxer Caleb Smith. Okay? Now follow the story. To fight Caleb Smith. The WBC allowed this. He fought Caleb Smith for 2 titles. He beat Caleb Smith. He then fought Avni Yildirim and a voluntary defense of his titles. Right? Then, just to stay busy, then he fought Billy Joe Saunders in a unification for Billy Joe Saunders' WBO title. Then he fought Caleb Plant for Undisputed in November and became an undisputed champion under a calendar year. Then when asked about fighting David Benavidez, he stated he didn't want to fight any more Mexicans. Then David Benavidez said, well, I identify as Ecuadorian, so you ain't got to worry about it. Then Canelo Álvarez stated that David Benavidez has done nothing, accomplished nothing in the sport of boxing, and doesn't bring anything to the table. Then David Benavidez fights and beats Caleb Plant, which was the biggest fight in the division when he was the WBC champion and Caleb Plant was the IBF champion. But before Canelo Álvarez made that division his home, okay? He beats Caleb Plant. Then he beats Demetrius Andrade. That's still not enough for Canelo Álvarez. Why? Because his 2-time trainer of the year, well-renowned trainer, future Hall of Famer, and manager, Eddie Reynoso, said that they have to strategically choose Canelo Álvarez's opponents wisely because he's on the tail end of his career. So we know they have no intentions of fighting David Benavidez, who is 28 wins, no loss, no draw, 24 wins by way of knockout. He is 27 years of age, 6'2" with a 75-inch arm reach. Canelo Álvarez is 60 wins, 2 losses, 2 draws, 39 big wins by way of knockout, 33 years of age, 5'8" with a 70-inch arm reach. They don't like the style matchup. They never did. Well, the PBC decided that they was going to sign Canelo Álvarez anyway, while knowing he had no intention to fight David Benavidez and did not include him in the contract because Canelo Álvarez had no interest in fighting David Benavidez and they was aware of it. But they had Showtime and the budget behind them, so they had money to burn and lose. As long as Canelo Álvarez represented their brand and brings shed light and acknowledgement and brings revenue in, they okay with it. So he was supposed to fight Jamal Charlo in September, his first fight with the PBC for the 3-fight deal. Jamal Charlo cited that his mental and physical health wasn't in order. He pulled out the fight. They did not offer David Benavidez. Why? Because he was never part of the plan to begin with. So they offered up Jamal Charlo. Because this took place in when? In June or July. Right? In June. Okay? This is way before Showtime President of Sports Steven Espinosa acknowledged that Showtime was having internal problems and was getting ready to get out the business of the sport of boxing. Unknowing to Al Heyman and the PBC. And then another chain of event took place is that Errol Spence fought Terrence Crawford July 29th, Las Vegas, Nevada. Got dropped in the 2nd round, twice in the 7th round, then stopped in the 9th round. Unforeseen chain of event. Okay? So they agreed to allow Canelo to fight Jamal Charlo. The 3-fight deal did not include David Benavidez. It was never a part of the deal. Hence the reason why Jose Benavidez Sr., father, trainer, manager of David Benavidez, took to social media and said that Al Heyman is getting desperate at this point in time because what happened? Showtime decided to sweep the rug from underneath his feet and the PBC feet and decided to get out the business of the sport of boxing and cited that they was only going to honor the rest of their schedule for 2023, which means they didn't have the budget anymore. Errol Spence then took a major loss and then had eye surgery. David Benavidez was never part of the plan, and Jamal Charlo health and mental commitment to the sport of boxing is not there. So they were left scrambling for opponents for Canelo Álvarez, who they have to guarantee a $35 million purse. Right? They don't have a network now. They then partnered up with Amazon Prime. That is reportedly only a distribution deal, meaning that they're going to showcase the fight with a small budget, if any. They don't have the budget to offer Canelo Álvarez. and how to recoup this deal, they'll come out their pockets to pay Canelo Álvarez as long as Canelo Álvarez agrees to the fights that they want Canelo Álvarez to agree to, which now would include David Benavidez. Canelo Álvarez is unwilling to fight David Benavidez, as we already knew. And Errol Spence is not available. The 3 fights would have been Jamal Charlo in May, as they're reporting that they're willing to give Canelo Álvarez his guaranteed purse of $35 million in May, as long as he agrees to fight David Benavidez in September. Now, if all went according to plan, even if Showtime got out the business and Errol Spence had won, Errol Spence would be the 3rd fight in September that Canelo Álvarez would then agree to fighting. But since Errol Spence took the loss that he took in July, he's not available. And it don't make sense. So they're trying to offer David Benavidez, which is a big fight financially. They can recoup the money, but Canelo Álvarez has no interest. Hence the reason why Jose Benavidez, again, is saying that Al Heyman is desperate at this point in time, offering up David Benavidez, because he wasn't offering up David Benavidez when Showtime was in the picture and they had a budget, and it didn't matter because they had what? They had money to burn. But now things have changed financially. They don't have the money to burn. And now they're trying to make Canelo Álvarez fight Benavidez to recoup money. Canelo Álvarez says he's not going to do it. Now they parted ways. Canelo's going back to the zone with Matchroom and Eddie Hearn. That's it. That's all. Period. So let's see how this unfolds and plays out. But that's all I got for y'all. Make sure you hit the like button. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue. Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. You haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. So all I got for y'all, I'm gone. Peace.